be talking about the process of photosynthesis. We'll be focusing on plants and how they convert solar energy from the sun into chemical energy, so the sugars, nutrients, and the food that they need in order to grow and thrive within their ecosystem. Now, the importance of this process, there's a couple factors here, mainly because once the energy is converted, it is then also transferred into all of the other living things, even humans actually, because one of the products in our equation that I'm going to get to in a moment, one of the products here is oxygen, which is what we take in, and because of photosynthesis, it's the reason we breathe. So this is not only applicable to plants, but humans use this process every single day. It's extremely important. And it really helps environments thrive and grow as well. We're going to be listing some vocabulary on the side over here. The first one I want to talk about with plants is that they are autotrophs. And the definition of this means that it is an organism that can make its own food. So it translates into self-feeder. Plants can do the process of photosynthesis all by themselves. Versus if we look at animals or humans, it's a lot more complex than that. But plants are autotrophs. Moving on, we're going to go to the equation now, and we're going to look at the two factors. First, reactants, and those three are water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. I'm going to be using their formulas today. So we have CO2 plus H2O. And because the sunlight is being transferred, I like to use the imagery of an arrow. So we'll have an arrow here for the sunlight. I think it'd be good to draw a sun. Good imagery there. Sunlight. And then our products out of this, we have the sugar or the glucose. I'll put sugar. And the oxygen or O2. This is the formula there. So if you want to label these, we'll put reactants in the front. And products here. So where does this process take place in the plant? In order to show this, I'll draw a quick little diagram here of a simple flower. Let's make the petals blue today. So actually, the process of photosynthesis, it mainly takes place in the leaves of the plant. We're going to have some leaves down here. And of course, can't forget to mention this, but we have all of the roots coming off from underground and under the plant. The roots are taking in the water and the nutrients from the soil. All of that also factors into this process. So the roots are extremely important in photosynthesis. But one thing to note from the leaves is another vocab term called stomata. And these are all of the little holes that are microscopic, but you can find them in a plant because this is mainly when carbon dioxide is getting transferred into oxygen here, because the stomata is able to take in all of this energy for the plant in order for it to grow. So a great way to show this, again, we're going to use the arrows to symbolize the transfer of energy that is happening here with these two formulas. So stomata play a huge part in photosynthesis. Another part of a flower here, we have organelles inside of it, and a main organelle is called the chloroplast. Chloroplast. It's a big organelle with double membranes, so it's got a lot of factors playing into this, But the main part that I want to focus on is the chlorophyll, which is actually a part of this equation here. Chlorophyll is extremely important. Chlorophyll is the reason why plants are green, because it is absorbing light. It's a pigment, which means that it's able to absorb the different colors, or like the wavelengths of the colors from within our atmosphere, which is super interesting. So it's good to put these three words in order, because these are these are the main factors to this process here. So I'm going to say main factors, important. Going back to chlorophyll, it actually reflects green light versus anything else within the rainbow, or the rainbow of color that we have here. So if we look on the opposite spectrum, it can absorb blue light, even red light, but it reflects green, so it does not take in the green, and that's why the human eye is able to visualize a green plant. And chlorophyll really takes account into all of that, because once it absorbs the light, then the rest of this energy can transfer into the plant. And this is all happening at the same time. It's a very, very complex process. But when you put all of this into perspective, it really shows that plants this is why plants can feed themselves, because they have all of these great parts within inside them that are helping to get this plant to move and live and breathe. So like I said, we have the roots here. They're going to be taking in water when it rains. They are helping with the growth of the plant. But overall, photosynthesis, we can look at the equation, all these formulas, reactants and products. We are taking the energy from the sun, converting it down, breaking it down into the food, the glucose, the sugars needed for it to grow. And with all of this to consider, it's a really great process for these plants. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.